roast some maize. So I'm lighting the jiko, but it's proving difficult. From the caption you've read that today we are going to have a conversation on how you're going to grow the little that you have into something big. There's a saying in Swahili which says kidogo kidogo ujaza kibaba. You know, little, you add another little something over here, you add another little something, and shockingly, or after a short time, you'll realize that you've really saved a lot. Don't despise the little money that you have. You might think it's only 100 shillings, it's not going to take me anywhere. But if you save a little in a span of say a year or 2 years, you'll realize that you've saved a lot. So there's nothing which is so little to be saved. There's nothing which is little to be saved. Any little thing can grow into something which is very big. Okay, so let's get into business. The first thing that you're supposed to do is to avoid wastage. Most times we spend a lot of money buying things, but then we don't even keep those things, or we don't use it sparingly so that we can be able to save more, or I don't know, so that we can be able to use it for a longer time. Most times we usually use the money that we have, we buy things that we need, but then we end up wasting these things. This means that we are going to go back to the market to buy these same things because we need these things to use. Most of the things that I'm speaking about are basic needs, the things that we need daily for our life to be able to progress. The basic needs like food, it's a basic need, right? So if we avoid wastage, you will realize that the things that you used to use in a month, you can actually be able to use even in a span of 2 months. Like the kitchen thing, the things that we use in the kitchen, we tend to waste a lot. You find yourself, you're cooking food, but then you end up throwing food because you cooked that food in excess. You know, there are some people who don't eat food which has stayed in the fridge, and for them it's cook and eat. And if that kind of food remains, they tend to throw that food away, leading to a lot of wastages. You might not be able to see because you will say, these vegetables were costing only 40 shillings. But do you know 40 plus 40 plus 40 is how much? It's growing to nearly 200 shillings. And if you multiply that in a month or even in 3 months, you'll realize that you would have saved a lot, that would have pushed you from one level to another. That's point number one. Let's avoid wastage in any part of our lives, in any sector, in any place that we need to spend money. If you feel like you can be able to use a matatu to go to work, why are you spending a lot of money? I know it's comfortable and the rest, you have your own space, nobody is pushing you around, but then if you're on this journey of saving a little a day, I would advise that you hike a matatu to work, even to the market, to any place that you wish to go, as long as you can be able to reach that place with a matatu. Why waste money buying fuel? Why waste money buying fuel? And you know, as soon as you ignite your engine, It means that fuel is reducing, and you'll need at some point to put in more fuel into your car. If you have thought about this, and then if you think about this critically, you'll realize that you spend a lot of money on fuel, on things that you can be able to kuweka your pride aside at your matatu like everyone else, and you go to work, and you go to the market and the rest of the places that we like visiting, unless it's very critical, or maybe when you have the children, maybe that's the only time that you can be able to use a private car. Currently, I know some weeks before we used to go to work with cars and the rest, but now that we are on the journey of saving even the little that we have, let's normalize doing things, or it was called opportunity cost. Instead of doing this, as long as you're going to reach your destination, save your money. Save money that you usually use on fuel. Unless you've really made it big, but if you're still putting one and two together, I would recommend that you save that money. Imagine 1,000 shillings. If you stay in a place where you use maybe 80 shillings to go to work, so using in the morning, you use 80 shillings in the morning, and you use 80 shillings in the evening. And if you would have used a car to work, you would have used how much? Maybe 2,000 shillings, and you are alone in the car. It doesn't make sense, especially now. Now that we have reached a point that we really, really need to save, that we really, really need to put something aside for emergencies. So to avoid, for me, it's not wastage as such, but then for me, I feel like you would have saved that money that you've used for fuel to do something which is, or to put that money in the bank, or any place that you save your money for a rainy day. Another thing is that we should stop. For you to be able to save money, you should not be afraid to bargain. I know most people have been saying that kama hufiki bei, kwa nini ukuje hapa? That if you can't be able to afford, why are you coming to a specific location to buy something of the sort? But then if it's not a supermarket where the prices are fixed, if it's not a place where the prices are fixed, it won't kill you if you actually bargain. Don't feel like you're less of a human being when you bargain. Through bargaining, you'll be able to save something little for yourself. We have said to sidharau the little money that we get to save. At this is 50 shillings, this is very little money. Hii haiwezi nisaidia nini nini. But that 50 shillings from this, 50 shillings from there, another 30 from here, another 20 from here. Through bargaining, I've given you that as a way of saving money. You will realize at the end of the day that you're really saving a lot. You're really saving a lot, and you realize that you have a lot of money. I'm sorry for the noise. I'm outside and we stay near a road, so we'll be expecting some noises here and there. So back to our topic, as I was saying, let's not feel shy to ask for or to bargain. Don't be ashamed. If you're still getting ashamed this century or this time of the year, like in 2023, then you need to do a lot of soul searching, because we are no longer in those times that we fear anyone's opinion. We are no longer in a place where we fear what people are going to say, because another person's opinion does not define you. If I go to a store and I bargain and I save 200 shillings in, let's say, in four, okay, if I save 400 shillings in one store, I save another 400 shillings in another store. Especially now that things are skyrocketing. Example, you go to the market. The last time I bought tomatoes, I was told 4 tomatoes, and they even they're almost telling you can't buy more than this because the next person is not going to get this. I wish there was something that we would use. Okay, that will be my next point. Let me know derail that point. The point is, if you cannot be able to bargain, you're still in the 19th century. You have to put your pride aside and bargain. Paka kwambe, if you don't want to buy, just leave it. But what do? We really have to ask for that price cut so that we can be able to save a little. Our intention for this vlog is how we can save little by little. We are not looking at the 1,000 shillings because it's a small money that people despise. But at the end of the day, it's going to grow in leaps and bounds, and you realize that you will save a lot. Another thing is, if you can be able to supplement something that you're using. For example, currently the tomatoes are very expensive. If you can be able to do away with tomatoes, imagine you can still be able to eat your meal without tomatoes in it, right? Sindio, we can still eat our meals without having tomatoes as part of our ingredients. Currently, the last time I went to the market on Saturday, I was shocked. I was told that 4 tomatoes that we used to buy, like 4 tomatoes for 20 shillings, currently they're selling 4 tomatoes, and they have the audacity to tell you, to tell you that you'll only take 2 big tomatoes and 2 small tomatoes, and for those 2 big and 2 small, you're going to pay us 50 shillings. I asked myself, it's my money, and I don't know if it's scarcity of tomatoes or people are just finding a way to hike prices, because we have not even recovered from the high prices of onions. We are still, actually we are still paying a lot of money for onions currently, and now they have introduced another thing, the tomatoes. Kwani, what's happening? When I went to the market, as I was telling you, and I was told, if you can't take this 2 big and 2 small for 50 shillings, I'm sorry, we cannot be able to sell for you. And then I was asking myself, it's my money and I have a choice to either buy this or not to buy. So if you can be able to cook your food without using these things, it will be the best for you. It will be the best option that you can be able to make, because who said food cannot be eaten with minus tomatoes and onions? You can just fry it, because times are hard, and if I just fry my food with a little mafuta, because even this cooking oil is becoming expensive. I don't know what we are going to do. We can't evade these things. So if you can be able to supplement or do away with the things that we usually use, I think we are in for a rough ride. We are in for a rough ride. And until something happens, we have to really think through this. So if you can be able to do away with the things that you're used to buying, if you see that these things are just they're just making me frustrated, and our goal was to save money. If you realize that your saving is not going to be realized because of buying tomatoes, I'm telling you, if you're used to cooking your food with maybe two tomatoes, two onions, and the rest, if you love food with a lot of spices and ingredients, tone down. Tone down on those things so that you can be able to save something a little for yourself. If you can be able to supplement or do away with these things, because they don't define our food, right? They don't define the meal that we are going to have. How about we stop buying them? We do away with these things. We stop buying them completely for some time. Nothing lasts forever. Even tough times last for a short time. Soon, things are going to smile back at us. Things are going to change. But before things change, and so that we do not divert from our goal of saving or saving a little each day, let's purpose to do away with things that are not necessary. For me, unless otherwise, I've paused using the tomatoes for now. Honestly, I've paused. I was thinking it's difficult for the onions part, but the tomatoes I can really eat my meals without tomatoes, and I will be good. Maybe next year things are going to smile back at us, and then we go back to using tomatoes as we used to do, right? Kindly remember to leave a thumbs up on this vlog so that it can be recommended to other people. How is the weather around your place? The sun? Can I turn the camera for you? You see, someone behind the camera is telling me don't. Okay, someone. Hi. Thank you for joining. I'm sorry I cannot be able to reply on the chat because this is not a silent. Oh, my friend Self Care. Hi, sis. How is Jamaica? I'm coming live to you from Kenya, as I usually like telling you, and we are trying to have a conversation. Thank you so much. Blessings to you as well. Thank you for the thumbs up. Self care and wellness from Jamaica. I hope I'm loud enough. Another thing is that we should avoid or we lessen our slavery to money lending apps. Currently, someone is looking like, oh, thank you so much. Thank you. The sun is really eating my face. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, my sister, Self Care, all the way from Jamaica. Our next point that we are going to speak about today, Jamaica is raining. Oh, even for us, it's raining, but we've been able to have a little sunshine. And I thought, why can't I go to the garden and have a little conversation? I know it's on a Friday, and most people are still in the office. For us, people are still in the office. Yeah, thank you for joining, my sister. Okay, the next thing that we can be able to save a little money is for us to tone down on being slaves to the money lending. What do we call the apps that are lending money? I'm telling you, the interest rates on these money lending applications is on the higher side. If you sit down, for example, you are borrowing maybe 2,000 shillings from this money lending, what do we call, applications, and nowadays there are very many. I think they have realized that they are making a kill from people who are borrowing money. If you take your calculator and you see the amount of interest that these money lending applications are charging, you will cry your eyes out, and you will never save. You will carry from, maybe I hear the same Shwari, there's Tala, there's, okay, a minute. Okay, you'll come to realize that these money lending applications, they take in a lot of money from us. For example, you're borrowing money from five uh, applications, or even three. By the time you reach the end month, and your salary comes in for those who are working or you are doing business, and then, sorry for the noise, and then you have little money at the end of the month, because nowadays the tax is eating on our salary. We have these things that we have to pay from our salaries, and then the little money that is remaining from whatever we have made for in the month, you pay everything to these money lending facilities. And because they are charging you a lot of money, you realize that you never get to save anything. It's actually the modern kind of slavery. It's modern slavery that you may not be able to realize. So if you can be able to break free from these money lending applications, or what do I call them? If you can be able to break free from them, you realize that you get to save a little money. Instead of paying this what do we say, instead of paying this interest, the money to these money lending institutions, how about to use that money as our savings? Because this money is getting out of our pockets. We don't have it, and the little that we have, these people, I call them that I call these people, okay, they are sisters when you're in need, but then I think they are ruthless, because the interest that they charge is out of this world, and you end up not saving even a little. You lack money to put aside at the end of the month for your savings. So, my lovelies, if you can be able to break free, hata kama ni kujifinyilia, sorry for those who are not understanding Swahili, I'm saying if you can be able to squeeze yourself so that you can break free from these money lending apps or institutions, you realize that you'll be able to save a lot of money, no matter how little it is. But at the end of the day, you get to save something on the side. So another point that I'm driving at is, let's break free from these online money lending applications. I don't know how you call them, but if we can be able to break free, we will be able to save a little money for ourselves at the end of the day, because our goal is to save something at the end of the month, and then at the end of the year we'll realize that we've really saved something. Another thing is, let's not get into pressure, or let's not compare ourselves to other people. You might put yourself into debt so that you can be able to be like somebody else. This thing of, I'll do this, so I'll borrow money so that I can be able to buy a car so that I look like so and so. That is slavery of the mind, like the one I've spoken about previously. Don't equate yourself to someone else. Don't compare yourself with other people, or else you'll never save. When you wake up in the morning, you see your neighbor has bought a huge, what do we call, or someone, just something that you don't have. Let's be satisfied with whatever we have, no matter the little that we have, as long as we can survive. Nowadays, we're just surviving each and every day with God and the little that we have, and we get satisfied. We don't compare ourselves with other people. This issue of comparing ourselves with other people has really landed us in a lot of debt. It has really taken us back to financial bondage. And you will realize that when you're not satisfied with the little that you have, you will never you will never grow. You will never put something aside for yourself, because you'll be thinking maybe you have saved a few thousand shillings. As you're walking in your neighborhood, you see that someone has done this, something that you don't have. You rush to the market and you buy the same thing. When will you get to save? Let's advise each other here. When are you going to save? You're going to really struggle the rest of your life. And you know, old age is coming. Old age is coming every other day that we celebrate birthdays, every other year that God is giving us. You'll realize that we are getting older, and the energy that we have in our bodies is going down. 5 years from now, you cannot be able to have the strength that you have now. It will be diminishing as years go by. So if you waste the years that you have strength to please other people, if you waste your years that God has given you to work, when are you going to save? Which energy are you going to remain at 55 to work for yourself, for you to create wealth? When? When are we going to get there? So the point is, let us stop comparing ourselves with other people. Let's stop, let's get satisfied with whatever we have. And you will realize that in a few years, we shall be able to get little money on the side that we have saved for a rainy day. Kindly leave a thumbs up on my vlog. I'll really appreciate. Let me take a sip. Another point that I'm going to discuss with you today, just a second. Welcome back from that short commercial break. Another tip that I'm going to give you today is for us to have a budget. Draw a budget every beginning. Sorry for the noise, I was waiting for that aeroplane to pass before we continue with our conversation. As I was saying, let's draw a budget. By this I mean, when you have money at hand, budget first, beginning with basic needs. The things that you cannot be able to stay without. For example, let me give my own example. The things that I cannot be able to do, of course, food, Things like baby diaper, because I have a baby, I can't do without that. Things like water, things like clothes, of which clothes you don't buy every month. That's not a recurrent expenditure. Things like bills, because there are some bills that we have to pay monthly, like electricity bills, water bills, service charge for those who are living in places where you pay for service charge. Those are things that you cannot be able to avoid. Things like DSTV, but that you can do without. Things like Netflix, that's not necessary. If you have the money, you can pay for it. If you don't have the money, things like Wi-Fi, I know it's important, but it's something that you can actually do without. So have a sitting. For example, you are a man and a wife. Check or have the income at hand for that particular period, and then you plan. Let's say for the things that we cannot be able to live without, or we cannot be able to survive without, give them the first priority. Budget for those ones. The recurrent expenditure that you cannot be able to avoid, have a budget for those. If it's due for payment, just do away with those ones first. And then for the remainder, there are things that you cannot be able to avoid as well. Things like bus fare to the office, and then to miscellaneous things, like things that you can come up. Maybe you leave a little money for miscellaneous items that can be able to crop up within, because some things are predictable, and as a family you can be able to know that the things that you will not avoid to use within a particular period, have a budget for those things. And for the luxury things, currently tone down on them. If it's not necessary, if you used to go to swim, or to go for night outs, to go for dinner dates and the rest, tone down on those. You used to go every week. How about you tone down, or you budget for just one weekend every month? Just what if you used to go four times in a month, how about you call yourself to a meeting and you tone down to going to unnecessary things, because you can stay with all those things once in a week, once in a month, sorry. So that will be catered for after you've made a budget of the things that you cannot be able to stay without. Yeah, I, uh, I think I'm clear. Welcome back, self care. Welcome back, she's my sister. Yes, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. So as I was saying, draw up a budget for the things that you can be able to do. I don't like to borrow too much. Oh, she was saying she doesn't like borrowing too much because she ends up paying for. That's true. No need to borrow for something that you can. That means you're living outside your means. How do we say? How do we put it? We are Swahili speakers over here. I don't know. Huh? How do you say it? Someone here is trying to assist me on how to rephrase that statement. That will be my next point. So, my people, if you learn to draw up a budget for the things that you use, the necessary things that you are going to use in a particular month, you will realize that you will have a little that you will be able to save at the end of the day. I'm hoping that is clear. Another one is, let's live within our means. If you know you cannot afford something, don't. I know people. There's a song that says, "I can't." Huh? It's saying, "Allow me to flex. It's my money. Eh? Allow me to enjoy." I don't know. Allow me to enjoy myself. In this, is it the 21st century? That one is beside the point. Live within your means. Call yourself to a meeting, as I usually like saying. Call yourself to a meeting. Analyze your finances. And if you see that your finances cannot be able to shoulder this thing that is coming up, how about you avoid it in totality? Accept the situation as it is. There's nothing that you can do unless you want to go out and steal, of which you'll never live in peace. You'll just be thinking that the police are coming after you. How about I know your limitations. Thank you, self-care. Thank you, self-care. Yes, know your limitations. You see, don't struggle to live outside your means. Because of what? If I know that I can only manage to eat meat once in a month, for those who are not vegetarians, if I know that I can only afford to eat fish twice in a year, will I kill myself so that I can be able to eat fish every week or every month? No. Live within your limitations or live within your means. If you accept that your means reaches here, you don't need to strain for so much. No, 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 no. Just accept it as it is and live within your means. Another thing is, let's learn to save. I know in this part of the world, we are not taught, or we are not being, when you are growing up, we were not taught on how to save. A few people, actually, those who are privileged, have been able to learn how to save little and little and little. But for the many of us, I don't remember myself learning or someone teaching me how to save. I know that's a big challenge, but that is not going to define us. Even if we are not taught how to save, we will have to learn it by ourselves. We are going to take the bull by the horns and we are going to run with it. So let's develop a saving culture. Let's learn to save the little that is remaining. Let's learn to put aside something small. I'm telling you, if you save, let's say in January, you are saving 2,000. I know times are hard. I can't stress that point in better, but then I know that times are hard. But even if times are hard, if you do all the things that I've said, if we learn to squeeze our pockets, we learn to minimize our spending, we learn to accept our means, you will realize that you, even the little, imagine there are some people who earn like 500,000 shillings in a month, and there are people who earn maybe 100,000 shillings in a month. There are other people who earn 50,000 in a month, and you will find out that the person that is earning 50,000 shillings, you might be shocked to learn that this person earning 50,000 shillings is able to save, but the person who is earning 500,000 shillings cannot save even a cent. That shows that you can actually save from the little that you have. For example, if you're earning 50,000 shillings, don't rent a house that you're going to be paying 20,000 and above. How about you live in a neighborhood? I'm just giving you a way that you can save the little that you have to earn more. If you're earning 50,000, how about you live in a secure neighborhood that you're paying 12 to 13,000? Even in Nairobi, you can be able to find such places. A place which is secure and you can be able to do your business without worrying about anything, but you pay 12,000 in a month. For example, you budget for your food, you buy food, you pay for your bills, and I'm telling you, you can even end up saving 3 or 4 thousand, as long as you're not so greedy to be going for this. The things that I said, you remember the lending applications and the rest, the ones which are draining us, the things that are draining us. You will get to learn that you will be saving, even though you might be thinking that that money is so little for you to save. You see, so don't say usidharau ile pesa kidogo uko nayo. Don't say this is too little. Oh, my mic is still working. Don't say that this is little, I can't save. People are saving out here. People are saving from nothing. So don't despise humble beginnings. Don't despise the little that you have. Learn to save. Learn to squeeze yourself a little bit, as long as you can be able to afford basic needs, and the rest you get to save. Another thing that you can, oh, sorry for the noise. Let me, there's some, I told you, I stay near a road, and you'll expect a lot of noises. I'm sorry for that. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for joining. The sun is still shining over here, and we are still having our candid conversation. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate you taking your time off your busy schedule to join me in this conversation that we are having. But I'm not a money expert, but when times are hard, we tend to look for ways to survive, and that's what we are learning together. Another point is, let's avoid impulse buying. I know this is a very this is something that is really happening, and it's really affecting many people. I'm taking a cup of water over here to get the energy moving. I'm just pulling your leg, okay? Now, if you can be able to avoid impulse buying, I'm not an angel. I've been a victim of this, and this is something that has been, okay, as I said, I'm not an angel, because at times I fall into this pit of impulse buying. If you fall, I'm sorry for the noises around me. Impulse buying really derails us. With impulse buying, you cannot be able to allow something to pass by without you buying. The moment you see something without having a second thought about that thing, you just see something and you say, voila, nimefikiwa. You get to buy things that you really don't need them. You buy things that are just adding to your financial burden. They add into your financial burden, and you never get to save. This impulse buying, it's a disease, by the way. Me, I term it as a disease, because you will find yourself that you cannot be able to control yourself, even for a second. The moment you see something passing in front of you, you cannot be able to resist. If you see a trouser, for people who love trousers, you can never allow that trouser to pass you by. How now? How can this beautiful trouser pass me by? How? You get that you end up buying things that you don't need, as long as you have clothes that you can wear. You can even stay 1 year as long as you take care of your weight so that you don't add or lose weight, so that you don't need to replace your wardrobe, you know. So impulse buying is something which is a major cause of it. Really, someone is just giving me uh, we call it over here, we call it machungwa. Okay, we'll continue with our conversation. You're not going to stop. So I was saying, if we can be able to get a way with which we can be able to tone down on impulse buying, don't get into pressure that my neighbor in the office. You see, when you're in the office, there's some people who pass by with nice bags, they pass by with nice things, and I see my neighbor buying, and I tell myself, if my neighbor is buying, let me buy. If you cannot be able to control yourself and say, Priska, I don't need this thing, I'm not going to buy this thing. You call yourself to a meeting and you say, I don't need this bag. I have 2 bags already. Why do I need 4 bags? For what? I have a black one, and I'm just giving an example. I have 4 bags or 2. In fact, 2 are enough. As long as you can be able to carry the things that you need to carry. If you can be able to rid yourself from impulse buying, you will definitely get to save a lot of money. Because those things that you buy for impulse buying, they don't come cheap. Oh, they don't come cheap. You'll get that those things are costing you thousands. Good things cost a lot of money. Good things cost a lot of money. Good shoes cost a lot of money. Good bags cost you a lot of money. If I can be able to buy a mtumba bag and it serves my normal day-to-day activities, why can't I get a mtumba bag? If a mtumba shoe can be able to take me to work and bring me back home, why do I need to buy a shoe for 5,000 shillings in this economy? Oh, why? Huh? So let's pray God that he does. Do we say he closes our eyes from impulse buying? Because it's really making people poor without their knowledge. It's making people poorer by the day. It's making you a prisoner on money matters. You've saved 10,000. Umejifinya, you've saved 10,000 somewhere. But then you saw something on the road. You've withdrawn the 5,000. Now we are back to zero. So what do we call? One of the fruits of the Holy Spirit is self-control. You remember the things that we learned, the fruits of the Holy Spirit. I think one of them was self-control. If you have self-control, you will rid yourself from impulse buying, and you will get to save. Just tell yourself that if I have 4 pairs of, don't worry about people's opinion that narudia viatu, as long as it's clean, as long as my bag is clean, as long as the dresses I wear are clean. Why do I need 50 pairs of clothes? So rid yourself from impulse buying. If you've said I'll buy clothes in January, and the next time that I'm going to buy clothes is next year January, let it be so. Even if you'll go next year, you buy 2 pairs of clothes. Hii mambo ingine which are happening between the year, close your eyes. Pray God that you will not fall into it, because it's temptation, by the way. I'll not fall into temptation to buy things that I don't need. You see? Kindly leave a thumbs up on this comment, and even a comment, so that we can be able to have a nice conversation. I may not be able to reply to your chats because I'm outside, and I'm shooting from my phone, unless I go back to the house, and then I can be able to respond to your chats. Thank you so much for joining me. Another thing, let's Mm, oh, Melissa, thank you, my sister, for joining. Melissa Dorcas is my sister. Another thing, let's buy things in bulk. I know, especially if you're living in Kenya, there are very many wholesale shops that you can be able to buy things from these shops. Don't buy everything from the supermarket. Don't buy everything from the supermarket. Take your time and look around you. I'm sure that you can be able to locate shops around you that sell things that you usually go to buy in the supermarket. You'll be shocked at the amount of money that you're going to save. You see, these also wholesale shops that sell things in bulk. You might not have seen them, but if you try to find out from your from your environment, you can definitely locate them. Those I didn't realize this, by the way, some years back. I used to buy almost everything except vegetables and fruits were the things that I would buy from the market. But everything else, I used to buy everything else from the supermarket. But then when I realized that there are wholesale shops around me, I ilijiuma kidole nikasema, hey God, why have I suffered this much? Why? I asked God, why did you let your servant suffer like this? Huh? I was telling God, why did your servant? Kwa nini mtumishi wako aliumia hivi? Because I realized that I used to waste a lot of money in the supermarket. You can even save a clean 1,000 shillings if you venture into these wholesale shops. I'm telling you the truth. Just try that. Try it anytime from tomorrow, because tomorrow is on a weekend. Try and buy things on these wholesale shops. You will realize that most of these these supermarkets, by the way, they're just okay. They're good because everything is under one roof. Melissa, hey, Melissa, I know you feel me. I'm telling you, even these supermarkets that we are buying things from, they buy it in bulk from somewhere else. They buy things in bulk from is it the producers or the manufacturers? They also buy these things in bulk. Then they sell to us in retail, in small pieces, but with a lot of money. If you don't realize, my sister, my brother, you will be spending your money in these supermarkets, and by the time you realize, your hair has turned gray. Hauna nguvu tena ya kufanya kazi. All your money umekuwa ukitajirisha supermarket. All your sweat, waking up at 5 in the morning to go to work, to try to make an extra coin, but pesa zote end month umepanga laini hivi na hiyo cart unasukuma hivi na confidence, you are pushing the cart with confidence, thinking I'm telling you, money, that is where we lose a lot of money. Learn to walk around your neighborhood. If you don't know where to get those, I can be able to, even for those who stay near me, I can be able to show you these shops. This life has shown us things, and if you see me going to the supermarket, it's only for the things that I cannot find in these wholesale shops. What do we call them? Is it wholesale shops or yeah? If you see me going to the supermarket, it's because I've not found that thing that I'm looking for in these wholesale shops that are around me. I realized that I was becoming a slave to the supermarket. In the supermarket, the way things are arranged, hata mimi siwezi kataa kuchukua kitu supermarket, because the way they are arranged, neat. There's someone there who is paid to just wipe it clean. But in most of these wholesale shops, things are full of dust. Most of them, they don't care, as in, you buy or you don't buy. They don't need to make it look so good for you to buy. So you find that most of us are rushing, then safi, even if when you come home you don't need to wipe anything, they are very clean. How about we go to these shops that most people, but nowadays people have realized, by the way, I realized most people have realized that these wholesale shops are saving a little, because our vlog today we are speaking about how to save a little. Let's come down from the IOS. I was one of them. Oh. I can't say I'm not. I know. Let's come down and we look for these shops that are going, even if you save 20 shillings. I'm telling you, 20 shillings nowadays with this economy. Hmm? Let's leave things for 19, I don't know what, 2023 going to 2024. Even if you get to save 100 shillings per item, you're already rich. You are already rich. So the point is, I know I've spoken a lot of things, but the point I was driving home is, let's buy things from these wholesale shops. You will never regret. You will come back, as I usually say, to me and tell me, Priska, you are a lifesaver. You ulinisaidia sana. Usijali, it's raining, yes. Vaa gumboots. Tembee the streets where you stay. Utaona tu, in fact, they have written, wholesale shop, wholesalers. What it's written in bold, wholesalers. Run away from retailers. Run, run, run. Our new plug is wholesalers. Try this out. This, if you use grains like maybe the tundengu, inaitwa nini, maharagwe, kamande, and the rest, those who are selling in bulk, the ones with big gunias, when those who are selling eggs in wholesale, you might find out that you save, for example, for a crate of eggs, you save nearly even 50 shillings. I'm telling you. If you see a big store where they sell purely, it's a wholesale shop where these retailers are buying from, then they go and sell to us in exorbitant prices. You will save 50 shillings per tray for eggs. Usipende ile supermarket yenye eggs sijui what. No, look for, even if you have a contact of a farmer, buy from the source. Buy from the source. If you're lucky to know someone who is selling something from their farm, you'll be lucky. But I know most people are living in Nairobi, unless you're living in a place that you can be able to get these people. But buy them from the source if it's possible. Nunua mahali zinatokea, mwenye akona kuku zake, buy from there. Mambo ya supermarket tumesema, if you want to save, supermarket is a no. Hope you're feeling me. Another thing is, if you can be able to supplement something with another thing. For example, currently some things, you find that some items are very expensive. For example, diaper brands for those who have babies. But I know that's very sensitive. Let me just say it. It's just an example. I'm not saying that is it. For example, brands of diapers. You will find that there's some, but now you'll have to do a lot of. I'm sorry for the noise, by the way. Oh, I stay near a road and the noise is. But you'll forgive me. I don't do this so often, but you'll forgive me. The noise is too much. My mic is still on. What I was saying is, let's learn to supplement things. You remember those days that we used to buy things like, I'm buying a brand, for example, for this cleaning the toilet. Nowadays, if I was used to buying, I cannot mention brands because it's sensitive. If you're used to buying things We no longer buy brands. Nowadays, tunanunua bei. You see, we don't buy brands. We don't go by brands. For me, imagine the audacity we have, the audacity. That for me and my house, we use this brand. Zingine sijawahi tumia hizo, sijui itatu affect aje. My sister, my brother, let me tell you, those things are the same things. It's just the name. For how long are we going to buy names? For how long are we going to be slaves of somebody's knowledge? You know, if I want to sell for you, let me bring this to perspective. If I want to sell you something is being sold in the supermarket for 50 shillings, and then I look for an influencer, I pay someone to hype a product, and I tell you how wonderful this product is, how it cleans stains that you cannot even see. It kills germs that you cannot even be able to see. Take your time and read the ingredients of these things. Take your time and read the components. Mi sikufanya chemistry, mi nilifanya chemistry. I didn't proceed after form 4. Yani the components of these things, you see, they say iko na hii, it has this and this. If you can be able to get the same thing under a different name and it's cheaper, go for that. Are you still buying brands? Hey, you have a journey. Ingredients. Dorcas is telling me it's called ingredients. Thank you, Dorcas. Sorry for that. We lost you. Oh, thank you. Sorry, Dorcas. These challenges of what do we call Zamtandao. As we were saying, you'll be shocked. Sorry for that, guys. It's this the network. I don't know what happened, or because the sun is going down. My people, I was telling you, you will realize that the ingredients of the things that we are being sold to are the same, but it's only the hype that these people put in their products that makes us think that these things are superior to the other. So, as we have said, we are on a journey to save even the little that you can be able to save. How about we stop buying brand names? Tuache kununua brand names. Let's start focusing on buying products, not brand names. So if you are a prisoner of buying a certain brand, and these people at hawana huruma, they're adding prices on a daily basis. This week you go to the supermarket, something that you bought last week, 200 shillings, 280, because they know that there are people that they imprison you in the mind, you know. Wanakuweka kwa prison that you think that if you buy something else that is not that thing that you're used to, your toilets will never be clean. That I must buy this specific brand of toilet cleaner for me to kill germs. But shock on you, even that thing that you can save 50 shillings from another brand, it will still do the same job. Do your homework. Squeeze, we take time and we do homework. We do homework on these products. You realize that even the things that people don't, cheapy. Someone, I know, by the way, someone was saying cheap is expensive. Maybe it's true, I don't know. But for me, I've stopped buying brands. Me, I'll not continue to be somebody's slave. So, someone is sleeping, mtu amelala mahali, unamuingizia tu pesa, and you, there's nothing coming to your account. You're just making other people rich. So the point is, my people, those who are watching, thank you so much for joining. Kindly leave a thumbs up and a comment. Let's stop buying brands. Let's enslave ourselves from these mental slavery, because yet tumefungwa hivi. They don't force us, they just do a good job of advertising. Unaona ukiinua hivi ukiweka kwa cart hivi na supermarket, unaona umefika Mimi ndio nanunua zile brands zinakwanga Citizen TV. I buy those things that are being advertised. These ones I don't recognize them. What if they harm us? How can a toilet cleaner harm you? How can something that, okay, I know. I'll leave you to make a decision. Sini sawa? But let's not buy brands, because we are on a journey to save. We say let's begin from somewhere. We are on a journey to save. Do away with brand names. We have been slaves for a long time, but we will no longer. You know, ukikuwa kitu leo and then you repeat again tomorrow, even if someone tells you, you think, I don't know, that person is doing what, you are the only one to suffer. You will be the only one who will suffer. That's another point. Another point is, let's find alternative ways to get extra income. How can I put this in perspective? Let's find other ways that we can be able to earn an extra shilling. If you are only relying on employment, especially if you are working in an office, Jehovah, you wake up at 5, you go to the office, you work up to 5. That's when you are let free. In fact, it's well written. This is an 8 to 5 job. Sorry for the noise again. These are challenges of living or staying near a road. If you are only relying on one source of income, you have suffered. I'm telling you, by the time you pay your bills, unaanza kusema nitapigia nani simu, niende which mobile app niombe pesa wapi? Because all your money kuongezea na tax. I know my friend is watching from Jamaica. I don't know the tax in her country. Maybe she'll comment. But if you're living in Kenya and you're relying on employment 8 to 5 and you have nothing else to do, you wake up weekend, umekanyaga duvet mpaka 9. At the weekend is my time to have neto nini? It's my me time over the weekend. Ati mimi nalala tu. Weekend, it's my me time. In fact, I switch off my phone. I don't want any disturbance, because I really wake up in the morning at 5. I go to work from 8 to 5, and now weekend is my me time. My sister, my brother, you have a long way to go. Have you seen people nowadays, even hata sasa nikimaliza hii live and I go along the road, people from the offices, I realized, people are very clever. Oh God, why have we suffered for this long? People go to the office. Yes, we are not saying we despise this work for 8 to 5, because it's God has given us that job. Even me, I work from 8 to 5. Hi Ellen, watching from Mamson County Live. Thank you for coming. Thank you Ellen for watching. We are not despising our 8 to 5 job. We thank God for it. Even me, I go for that kind of a job. I wake up in the morning, I go to the office. But I've realized that people in the evening, have you seen, let me use my gender, women at 5 on the sides of the road, take a break and go along the street of where you stay. You'll find people selling vegetables, selling I don't know what. Have you seen those ones? If you have seen, kindly leave a chat there. In the evenings, I love your space. Thank you so much, Ellen. Thank you so much. You find out that in the evening, nowadays, Very many vehicles have cropped up along the road. Do you think these people don't go to work in the morning? They do. They go to work in the morning. I'm just giving you an example. People are no longer relying on the 8 to 5 work. They no longer rely on that. People nowadays in Kenya tunasema wamechanuka, ama our times are, ama sisi ndio tunaumia Kenya peke yetu. People nowadays are selling things in the boots of their car. Mtu anaenda job asubuhi 5 anatoka mbio, for those who are lucky to stay near their offices, and then anafungua gari yake. You know, you don't pay those charges that you pay money for the county council. I don't know nowadays inaitwa nini, for the counties. Unafungua gari yako hivi, unauza nyanya, unauza vitunguu. Weekend you go to the market. Hii mambo ya kusema unaogopa watu watasema nini, oh, pole sana. Chukua gari kama uko nayo. If you don't have, take mkeka, kitu kama mkeka, or what do we call, agunia. Anika vitunguu vyako. Even if your neighbor is selling at 20 shillings 4 pieces, sell 20 shillings 5 pieces. You are going to earn an extra income. Do something. Mambo ya kusema weekend is my me time, ati mimi weekend I'm just pampering myself, I'm making we don't have time for that nowadays. Do some online business. Have you seen people selling things online? Not that they have a lot of time in the world, but they are using the little that they have to look for that extra income. You see someone in their status, sisi tunapost mapicha tumeshikilia sijui wapi hivi, someone is selling clothes online. Sisi tukipata what do we call this thing, when you get anything like crossing the equator, sisi we take photos and we post on our statuses. People are posting clothes to sell. People are posting products to sell. Know that these people are even stocking these things. Wameshaenda Kamukunji. Let me tell you a secret. I realized, I asked someone, my colleague in the office, I told her, I'm here with you in the office and you're still making sales, because I hear I'm making calls. Fanya delivery hapa, sijui do take what to who. Then I told her, my sister, you cannot be doing this alone. Ebu chanua sister, let me just know how you do it. She tells me that she goes to Kamukunji. When me, I'm saying, this is my me time. She's in Kamukunji. She's looking for suppliers, the wholesale suppliers we spoke about. Anamwambia, what are you selling? She takes pictures of those things in that shop. And then, anapost kwa status. They have agreed with this person that from you, I'll be buying, because most people, in example, I'm just giving an example of Kamukunji. People sell things in wholesale in Kamukunji. So, amuka kesho, enda Kamukunji. Ask this, look for someone friendly. You know, if you have a discerning spirit, you can be able to know someone who is good. Just walk to a shop, say hi, Helen, true host, that's how I was doing my wallet. I remember, Helen, I was one of your clients. Thank you for commenting, Helen. I was one of our clients, by the way. Helen is a good one. She can be able to do a good one. Helen now can advise you. Me, I'm not good in that. But Helen can really, she knows how to hustle for these things. She can tell you. So she told me she goes to Kamukunji. Ashajua what people like. For example, you do your market survey, you know people like this thing. Tell her, will you allow me to take photos, or you will be sending me photos of things that you sell in your shop, so that I'll be posting on my status. Remember the status that we post to pictures, people are making business out of it. You'll be sending me the things that you have in your shop, I'll be posting it on my status, and now that you'll be selling for me this item at 200 shillings, I will sell it at 300 shillings. Because watu wengi wapendi kwenda market, why should I suffer to go to? People want things to be brought to them. Now people are capitalizing on that to make an extra kill. Hi, stareta tumaliza. Okay. Anyway, That's how this thing goes. The supplier sends you photos. You have to be friendly, by the way, for you to be able to manage. And then look for your own rider. And you know, most of these riders, someone you trust, you look for a rider. So hapo mi nimepost, I'm selling clothes, I'm selling nini. Let me use my sister as an example. She's watching. Dorcas tells me, Priska, I want that flask. How much? I tell her, I'm selling this flask at 1,500. She tells me, kindly deliver. That is the language we do online. Kindly deliver. I ask you, which address? You tell me, this and this office. You don't even need capital. Thank you, Ellen. I think, Ellen, you should do a live on this so that people can learn. Imagine, you don't need any capital. I ask you, which address? You tell me, I don't know, community office gani, my rider, Peter. Enda kule, now your rider knows your supplier. They go pick that item, and you in the office you'll pay for that delivery. Peter goes to Kamukunji, anachukulia Dorcas flask in our office. Dorcas pays me because I say pay on delivery. Dorcas pays me 1,500, sindio? She pays Peter 100 shillings for delivery. Me, I go nalipia ule mtu akamukunji because now we are in agreement. I pay her 1,200. You are in the office working, I'm in the office working, but I'm making money. That's what I learned from this, my good colleague. So, I'm telling you, if you don't open your eyes, let's wake up. Let's go to Kamukunji. Let's go to Isli. Let's do something. Let's sell things. Usiogope tena. I'm sure nothing. Why? What are you fearing? What is the worst? What is the worst that can happen? You see? What is the worst that can happen? Mimi Priska in the office I've made clean 400 shillings. Peter, my supplier, has been paid his delivery. I don't need to pay Peter. Namwambia hii ni biashara. So Peter gets his money, Priska gets her money, Dorcas gets her item, my supplier is paid. From that day nilisema OMG. So I have been suffering this much. Okay. So this is how people make money. But no, not many people are going to tell you. Most of us still fear that nikiuza njugu nyuma ya gari, watu watafikiri sifanye kazi. So what? So when people are posting their pictures celebrating, you are posting to bags, you are posting spoons, flasks. You are making an extra income because we said nowadays we are not going to depend on one source of income. If you depend on your salary, you'll be running. You remember when we started our conversation, we said, let's break free from these money lending apps. If you have an extra source of income, even other people are farmers, by the way. I did a full video on that sometimes back. There is no shame in money game. Thank you, Ellen. You see, now the expert is speaking. Ellen is an expert. Please, you can visit Ellen's YouTube channel. Ellen is a good friend. Her YouTube channel is Ellen here. You'll go learn. Ellen, what do we call that in your? Kindly give us what we call that in your channel, so that the people watching can be able to visit and be able to learn a few things. So what we were saying is, let's do something extra for us to earn that extra income. Let's get out of our comfort zones. You know, lima shamba. If you have a farm in up country, lima shamba. If you have like a small space in your compound, but that will not be enough to sell. That I don't know if that will be practical, but there are people who do. There are people who have small farms in their compounds and they sell. So let's have an extra source of income. Tusitegemee tu ya ofisi. Utalala njaa, utakuwa unaamka 8 to 5 but you still struggle. Unaanza kujiita interview, unajiuliza God, nilikosea wapi? But God, where did I go wrong? God, why is my life so hard? But because tumekuwa lazy. I'm sorry to use the term lazy. I think that's harsh. It's because we are slaves of not wanting to diversify, you know. We don't want to get out of our comfort zones. We don't want to do something extra. We don't want to wake up in the morning. The video is profitable small business. Thank you, Ellen. The video, please visit Helen, HELLEN, and then here HERE. I don't know, my Calais accent is too thick. You'll forgive me, but you'll see her in the chats. She's Helen here. Just see the small, I don't know, she has written there. I'm sorry, it has disappeared. Just what she has written there. Please go and watch that video so that you have ideas of the things that you can be able to do. Nowadays hakuna kulala. It's a 24/7 economy. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you so much. So the point is, if you have a car, tunajua saizi hakuna mafuta, magari zimelala. Jioni 5 ukishatoka ofisi, simamisha hapo kwa street, hapo kwa gate. Uza nyanya yako, uza apples, uza nini. Do an online business. Till lima shamba nyumbani. Like in our place where I come from, we do so well with potato farming. I can as well venture into that. Plant trees in your farm up country. 5 years down the line, harvest those trees. You will have made a kill. You will have made a kill for yourself. I'm telling you, don't be ashamed. Post. Don't say nimepost sana kwa status, watu watasema tulimaliza hiyo. We agreed. That's not a limiting factor anymore. Mtu ataona leo una post, tena kesho anaona una post, kesho kutwa una post. Hebu niangalie Priska ana post nini kwa status nione. She expects to see you umepiga sijui aje, anaona she's selling nice clothes, she's doing this, and you make little. With that you get to save. With that you get to make an extra. Host unanipatia psych, I should go back to. Please do, Ellen. You are doing so well. I have that. I have that wallet up to today. I remember even that time from our office, I convinced people to buy those wallets. Nice wallets, by the way. But make sure unafanya kitu quality, by the way. When you do these things, my advice is to fanya vitu quality. I remember the wallets that she sold to me back in 2020. I remember the year, Ellen, it was 2020. I still have those two wallets, nice ones. So as Ellen did that time, the wallet she sold me online 2020, I still have it, brand new. Ama mimi najua kuweka vitu, I don't know, but it's still. So do a clean job, as long as you're not doing anything illegal. Do anything so that you can be able to earn that extra shilling. That extra shilling is what we are looking for. Let me drink water. Another thing that you can do, this is my personal experience. It might be little money, but for me, nilikuja nikakaa chini nikaona we saved a lot of money. But this might not be applicable. I don't know if I should say this. I don't know. I don't know. Let me just say it. It's not something big, but if there's a way that you can do something, I know it can be capital intensive, Let me just this. I'm sorry, I'm using my own example. It's not something big, but then where I stay, the water is not so good. So we invested in this thing that it's from Davis and Shatleaf. Yes, from Davis and Shatleaf. It's a water purifier. We used to buy drinking water, and in this place where I stay, drinking like the 20 liters of drinking water. Imagine. I'm sorry if my supplier is watching. We used to buy it at like 520. The Keringet bottle, the 20 liters bottle, we used to buy it at around 520. One day we called ourselves to a meeting. We said, "Tuta manage here." And the way I like drinking water, and the people in my household, tunapenda maji. We said, how can we reduce this expense? Because this is a recurrent, painful expenditure. It's not only recurrent, we need it, but it's painful to pay. Tukaamua, let's buy this water purifier. It's a small one, it's for 10 liters, by the way. Let me tell you, my people, we have saved. I'm sorry to use a personal example, but you get to save a lot of money. Nowadays, if you come to my place, drinking water, the purifier is there, we just kunywa maji from the tap, direct from that thing. If you can be able to save a little money, ukijifinyilia kidogo, you buy, it's a lot of money, I guess, but in the long term, tunaona long term. Let's not just see money saving tips as now. We project. I've even seen my neighbors, they have installed solar. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. It's expensive. People are installing solar. They use solar in eating. Solar, because we live in a place where there's a lot of sun. I don't know if you stay in a place like Leland where there's no sun, where I come from. But if you're living in a place where there's a lot of sun, people have installed solars, by the way. They use it in everything. Our bei ya stima. Hi, Miss Lydia. Thank you for joining. Welcome, Miss Lydia. People are saving a lot of money by installing something which is capital intensive at the beginning. Oh, well, most welcome. I'm happy to see you as well. Thank you so much for coming, Miss Lydia. Thank you for coming. Some things are capital intensive at the beginning, but when you shika your calculator at the end of the day, that is amazing. Thank you, Ellen. But when you shika your calculator at the end of the day, like now, sisi budget ya maji tumesema ya kukunywa, we have our own purifier. So other people have installed solar panels. Some people have installed solar panels, nini, things which they take a lot of money, but at the end you get to save. But if you have other tips, you can kindly put them on the chat so that you can be able to have a conversation. Another thing that I learned, albeit painfully, is buying things which are durable. I realized that if you buy things that are durable, they might be expensive. For example, clothes. For example, maybe kitchen appliances and the rest. Not very expensive as such, but let's say quality, not expensive. Sorry for that. If you buy quality products, they might be slightly expensive from the counterfeit ones, but then I remember there are things, I'm sure, in your own home, things that you bought 10 years ago, but they're still serving you. They might have been expensive at that time, but then they're still serving you up to this time. So if it's possible, my people, if it's possible, please buy something which is durable. Ile unasema nikishanunua hii kitu nitakuja kuachia wajukuu. I'm sorry for those who don't hear Swahili. I'm saying buy something that will live and live to your grandchildren. Ile ukishanunua ni once and for all. You might buy these cheap things in the market, but then you use it 3 months down the line, umeshaita fundi That's another cost. Kidogo kidogo waya imekatika. Thank you Miss Lydia, thank you so much. Kidogo kidogo fundi, you call fundi every week. How much will you pay that fundi? How much do you pay a fundi? Kila saa fundi. Ukikuja kushika ile calculator we said, you have used a lot of money kufanya repairs. Saving tutasave nini sasa? What will we save? How about if you don't have something, vumilia, jifinye kabisa, just pray God, finya mpaka you are able to buy that thing, albeit expensive, but you will never have to go back to the market to buy that thing. Umemaliza hivyo. Kuna vitu tulinunua when we're starting families huko koma like 10 years ago but they are still there. You see, they are still there. So if you can't afford something, don't worry, save. Hata kama utasave for 2 years and you buy something which is quality, that you will never have to call a fundi, do that. That's my candid advice. That is my candid advice. Buy quality, especially the gadgets that we are using. Save. Usirukie ati simu yangu ni mulika, I don't know what. Utakuwa unashinda kwa fundi ukipelekea fundi 3,000 every month. At the end of the day, that money you would have saved and you've bought something which is quality. So another tip is for us to save and buy something which is quality. Yenye itaran mpaka uachie grandchildren. You know, there are some things you bought once and you've never. I'm sure you can bear me witness for this. I'm sorry for the noise. Hey, the noise here. I'm sure you can bear me witness that there are some things that you bought 10 years ago and they're still there. Me, I can show people a few things that I did many years ago, but they're still working. Hujawahi ita fundi, hujawahi, it has never stopped working. That is the point. Do that. Don't impulse buy things ndio isemekane uko nayo. No, that's not the, tulitoka huko ndio waseme niko na tulitoka huko dadangu, ndugu yangu, tulitoka huko. Save hata kama ni 4 years. Loud and clear. Oh, thank you Miss Lydia. We came from ndio isemekane niko nayo. We stopped. Buy something which is quality. Another thing that is making people, I don't know how to put this. I don't want it to come out harsh. This one will be, this is controversial. Let me rephrase it. Okay. Helene is saying equality. Helene, I'm sure there are some things that you have had for many years and they are still alive and kicking. Na hujawahi ita fundi. Someone can ask you, are very clear. Thank you, Helene. So nisijali na ikelele. Thank you so much for that affirmation. Thank you so much. Acha nikunywa maji tena. I'm here drinking water. I told you I love drinking water. How many mental slavery tena, I don't know, but hey, I love Another thing which is controversial, I'm sorry if it will come out rudely, is if you don't have, you don't have. For example, I have 2,000 shillings that is going to take me up to the end of the month. And someone calls me, Priska, haki nimekwama. Nisukumia haki 500. Most of us fear telling somebody, ndugu yangu, dada yangu, sina. we enter into something. Is it guilt? We become so and I'm requesting someone to put for me water over here. Thank you. And my people, if you don't have something, don't fear to tell somebody you don't have. We have reached a point where calls come in left, center, and right. Let's learn to say I don't have. Na ibaki hivyo. Don't trip yourself that if I tell Dorcas I don't have, what will she think about me? Dorcas, if I don't give Dorcas this, I'm using Dorcas because she is my sister, she won't take it personal. So unakuwa slave, uko tu kwa msalaba hivi. You don't have, umesha plan, umesema I've put aside, water is good, background noises, but which is good. Thank you Ellen, thank you so much. Unakuwa kwa msalaba, mwaka nenda mwaka rudi. I'm sorry for those who can't hear Swahili. You are on the cross. Yes come, yes go, because of people. No, but uzuri, they don't force you. You are afraid to tell someone I don't have. What is the worst? In fact, when people learn your boundaries, they learn to respect it. Unless they are emergencies come up. Even in our friend circles, in our own circles, emergencies come up. There are some things that we cannot avoid to chip in, because all of us things come up, But then there are these people who, and they don't ask for a lot. These people will call you, Helen, aki nimekwama kwa petrol station, sikumie 200. Helen says, 200 ni kidogo. 200 to Priska. 2 weeks again I call Ellen, nimekwama kwa supermarket, kumbe pesa haikutosha, aki 300. Ellen will not be, if she cannot be able to sit down and see that these 200 shillings I'm giving to Priska, these people don't ask you for a lot of money. They ask you for 200, they ask you for 300, 150. In fact, to make you comfortable, the audacity nowadays, mtu anakuambia please wacha nikutumie till. The audacity. Wacha nikutumie till, nimeenda I don't want to use that term. Nimeenda mahali nimekwama, nimekula hii pesa nilikuwa na, you didn't know where you are going. Uko umeshika calculator, naenda mimi siendi hizo fancy hotels and then I finance you. Why are you financing somebody's lifestyle? Ati 200. Petty lenders 200. Nimekwama kwa supermarket 300 umetuma. Hey, the aeroplanes are here again. I hear they're called petty lenders. 200, 300, 200 again, 150, 50 shillings. When you have now your own meeting, you realize you have nothing left. Now unajita ile mkutano yetu unasema, hi, truth, Helen is agreeing with me and Miss Lydia. Unakuja unashika calculator unasema, Priska, nilikuwa nimesave 1000 shillings. Ilienda wapi? If you don't delete your M-Pesa messages like me, unasema let me go back to my M-Pesa messages. Unaona 200 Ellen, 100 Dorcas, 50 Nyambura, 60 ati huyu watoto hawana leo mboga, nitumie 60 yake ninunue tu mboga. 60 Nyambura, 250 Otieno. Atata leo sitafika kazi, sukuma 200 itanipeleka ofisi nirudishe. if it's something which comes once in a while, because needs come up, no, hakuna mtu ana, all of us have needs na maisha imekuwa ngumu. But these people, there are people who guilt trip you. You keep sending 200, 100. Hata hili mtu anakuambia nitumie 5,000 at the end of the month, ama I'll send it to you. That's better. But this one so 50, 20, 30. Ukikuja kushika calculator 365 days. Ushika calculator ya hizo 2020 ulikuwa unatuma 30, 15. There are people even omba mpaka 15 shillings. Unakuja kuona pesa ungekuwa umeanzisha biashara ya grains. The money that you have given out, ungekuwa unafungua biashara ya grocery, ungeshafungua. Ungekuwa unauza maji ya kupurify in your neighborhood, ungeshanunua hizo machines. So my people, if you can be able to say a big no, and people wajue kabisa, useme nana, let me ask you, nana ako nayo? Me, I don't have. You know, people assume. The assumptions are very bad, by the way. Let me tell you, you assume that so and so is she has made it in life. You know, si kila mtu anaenda akijitangaza. You can't see it on my face that I'm struggling. I might be struggling, but I can't show it on my face. People are struggling. So ndio mimi nisifiwe, nakimbia mshwari, naomba 2,000 shillings, natumia mtu, ndio niambiwe mheshimiwa, baba lao. You know, you remain in debt so that you are praised by people. Tulitoka huko. You remain in debt so that status quo remain. The people will never say ati nikipigia Priska, people want it ilisemakane, nikipigia tu Priska ngwe M-Pesa imelia. And they have the audacity to tell other people, atuna struggle, pigia Priska. Should I say it in my dialect? I don't need many people here. It will come so well in my dialect. Should I say it in my dialect? It comes out so raw and nice. Nateseka nini na Priska? Ukimpigia tu hivi M-Pesa inalia ngwe. Dada yangu, utalilisha M-Pesa ngwe mpaka lini? Utalilisha M-Pesa mpaka lini? How about from today, tell somebody I don't have, sina. By the way, na watu hawana, iko wapi? Say no, I don't have it. Don't guilt trip yourself that watasema sina, sina, so nisaidie basi hata mimi. Sasa nitakuwa nakurushia hiyo 200 every day. What will I remain with? You have kids. If we all say we have kids, kila mtu tena tutakuja wote uwanje we have kids. So my people, learn to say no. Don't go to M-Shwari to finance another person's expensive lifestyle. Learn to say no. People get used to. If you stop making, I'm loving this conversation. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you so much. If you stop fearing that nisipolilisha M-Pesa ya Dorcas watasema nini? Hiyo umewin Nobel, inaitwa Nobel Peace Prize. Umewin. If you learn to stand your ground. Kama wewe una, mimi sina, why should I in fact give them options of where to get this money? Nowadays kuna nyingi sana. Namwambia ni emergency. God is great, my brother. Kuna money lending hizi apps yenye nilikataa as I was beginning this conversation. I said we should never fall victims of this slavery yenye tumeingia, money lending applications. But refer these people to those applications. Kwani mimi ndio nitakuwa nalipa interest rates ya M-Shwari to finance your lifestyle? Mimi nilishasema no. Nikusukumie till unanisukumia nilipena, unanisukumia till number nilipie na nini? Mimi sina. Kama wewe una, mimi sina. We in the same economy, tunakatwa kila mahali. Hi. No. Hi. Yes.
And what have you bought for me?
creeps, tell and to give you. Motherhood again. I was dealing, someone was asking me something. We are saying if you lie, you will cut by the 50% of our troubles is not taking a firm ground and saying no. That is the point. Tukishaanzia hapo, let's start there. For our emancipation from this financial crisis that we are in, let's learn to say a firm no. People get used to, people adjust. You know, watu wakisha kuzoea wewe ndio kulilisha, hati wewe kiongozi, they see this other name, ati chemo, in my place they call it chemoget, ati kongewe chemoge, asante sana mudosi, that's my dialect Marakwet. Kongo chemoge, kigetu chemoge, chemoge amefika. Chemoge ya wapi? And people maybe in your home are even struggling. Maybe your kids even don't have socks. Na unang'ang'ana huko kitu chemoget, chemoget gani? Ati mudosi, mudosi. Hey, we have suffered for long. We have suffered. If someone calls you chemoget, unaambia hata wewe ni chemoget. Ati siku awana ati nikusukumie till. Imagine the audacity. Kongo hiyo mune. Nida acha mege. Yeah, thank you. You know a bit of my language. Thank you, Miss Lydia. So my people, let's stop being slaves for other people. Okay, the point is, let's not finance another person's expensive lifestyle. Tumesema tumemaliza hiyo 2023. We will no longer finance another person's lifestyle, because our vlog today we are speaking about how to save a little, and we cannot save a little if we can't say no. Sina family, sina hata mimi naumia, hata watoto hawana nguo. Ndio nilikuwa nasema nitafute kitu nikimbie niwanunulie. Kwani wewe una bills ya kwa nani? Everyone bills is everywhere, even in the village. Have you gone to the village lately? Hey, in the village kitambo they used to give things for free. You go to someone's place, they tell you to go to the shamba, atienda utoe viazi uchukue. Kwetu we till a lot of potatoes. Enda shamba ujilimie viazi. Nowadays, my brother, my sister, you will buy. Even in my where I come from, uko mwisho kabisa. Can I go play? Where I come from, it's uko the end of the tropics, but there's nothing for free. So it's tulimaliza hiyo, si ndio? Please remember to thank you for joining me. By the way, I've spoken so much mpaka nimesahau. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. Remember to leave a thumbs up, and if you're comfortable you can chat on the comment section. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, Miss Lydia. It's unfortunate I cannot be able to type to respond to some conversations, because if I was inside the house I would be typing on another place and responding. But thank you so much for being here. Am I still being, ama mic yangu ilizima? I have a little mic over here, inanisaidia sana to have this conversation. Another thing is, if there is something that you can be able to use so that you don't incur a cost, How do I put this? If there's something that you can be able to get from somewhere that can be able to help you not to incur a cost, please use it. An example, my examples. Hello Priska, hi Alice, thank you for joining. Thank you Alice for joining. Thank you so much. By this I mean, if you can be able, I'm using contemporary examples. I know people have a lot of examples, but I'm saying things that I do myself. Thank you for joining, my people. If you can be able to carry like maize, this is just a simple thing. Maybe people are not feeling the impact, because if I'm saying like this, because for me, I personally love eating ugali, and because I know that I love eating ugali, I don't buy. My sister can bear me witness. My sister is watching. Hey, if I tell you I've never bought this unga ya kwa duka, I'm sorry if this will not come out so well, loud and clear. Thank you, Ellen. For me personally, and a few people in my household, we love eating ugali. Let's not speak about the kids because they don't like ugali. So, if for me, and that's a practical example. For me, in fact, in one of my videos, I've shown you how I do it. I've never bought, by the way. Dorcas, do not crucify me. You know why, but don't crucify me. If you can be able to get something from somewhere so that you cannot be able to incur a cost. When people are crying that, oh, maize flour is 300 shillings. A packet. A packet. A packet. For me, I love mursik. Send some to my way. I'll send it to you, Lydia. Give me your address. For me, I carry maize from the village. Many years. Not just like I'm speaking of something of yesterday, mahindi ilipanda. Me, I've never bought, by the Dorcas, don't crucify me. Me, I've not bought. I know Dorcas, she can crucify me, but I've never bought at the dollar. When people are crying that dollar was 240, even when people laugh at me that napanga laini, those places where they what do we call kusiaga mind? What do we call them? I don't know. People call it different. We call it kusiaga. Me, I've never bought those at the dollar. Nini, I'm sorry to use that name, but this maize, the unga from these packets, you will see me on Saturday, like tomorrow. I think I should do a live nikitoanisha mahindi hapa nje kwa ndoo, peng 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 kusiaga. You will see me in that line like this. Hata sitakangi kubother mtu, because you might bother somebody's child and maybe kwao waendi kusiaga. Laini peng kusiaga. Mahindi nimetoa home. Kusiaga, it's 20 bob. How much? Please read color. Oh, I don't understand what the person is saying. Ellen, okay, what I was saying is posho milling maize. Someone is saying posho milling maize. Yes, thank you Ali for that. Me, peng peng Saturday, every Saturday. I don't sisiagi nyingi kidogo so that they remain fresh. Kusiaga, and let me tell you, it might seem tedious, or maybe si tunaishi outskirts of Nairobi, but I'm telling you, my people, you save a ton of money. Hii mambo ya kusema lazima nikule grade A ya ugali, go to the posho mill, tell them. It's just an example, my people. You need to be talking about this topic. I'm getting some tips on how to be economic. Hi Ellen, you're picking notes. Ellen, by the way, hey, she can assist us in this. Me, I'm not so good. Me, I'm giving just still. Yes, thank you for appreciating. Go to the portion mill. Imagine if you come and shika ile calculator, if you come and analyze your costs at the end of the day, my brother, my sister, you will be saving a lot. Especially there are people who don't like eating ugali. That's fine. You can be able to. I'll try. I'm telling you, you will save a lot. Don't fear. Me, I came out of mental slavery, by the way. Even my door, you'll be able to see. I think I'll show you. I'll walk to you to them, Madam. Good idea. I think one day I'll go to you. Hi, Kerry. Hi, Viola. My sister Viola is here. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Crazy, for joining as well. I was saying, I don't even hide that in Dania Gunia. What do you call these things that people cannot be able to see inside? Me, I don't do that anymore. Mimi ndo yangu peng aisiaga, and nikikuja kuona the amount of the little money that I save for not buying that unga in the supermarket. My brother, my sister, you will save a lot. Put your pride aside if you can be able to. And she is crying. Huh? He's crying. Oh, I thought the baby is crying. If you can be able to, it's not a must, but this is an example. I know there are many things that you can be able to supplement. Oh, Miss Lydia is saying her home is in Rift Valley. Thank you, Julia Moas. Like done. Thank you, Julia, my friend. If you can be able to do that, you save tons and tons of money. Ha! Especially that one, if you love ugali. I'm not a Luya by the way, but napenda ugali. Nilishika calculator nikasema nitaweza kununua ya packet. Nikasema Priska sitaweza. You know, you assess your situation. Yani unajianalyze mwenyewe, unasema Priska, nitaweza kununua hii mahindi ya $1. Sorry, $1. I should have said coded name. Nitaweza kununua hii unga, will I sustain? Calculator ikatoa red, ikatoa nini mwangaza, ikaniambia sitaweza. Nikasema sawa. Ugali is the best food added with mursik. My sister is saying it's the best food. Mimi ni member wa ugali. Calculator yangu ikasema ping ping, Priska hautaweza, ping. Host for real a portion meal video. I will do it, by the way. I usually go every Saturday. And when I removed my head from that slavery of buying that unga on the shelves, I don't want to mention brands, alafu nichapue copyright ama nitafanywa nini. Viola, kumba hata wewe wajua hivyo. I'm missing already. When I removed myself from that slavery ya kukula ati mimi nakula tu sifted unga, ati ugali yangu lazima ikuwe nyeupe, nilishatoka huko. So those who can afford, mimi waya ziliwachana. 20 shillings, imagine. I use 20 shillings in my neighborhood. 20 shillings to shell those maize. You do kusiaga 20 shillings. We have ugali for the whole week. Every ugali eaters kama sisi. 20 shillings we have our ugali. Na mahindi kisha, we go back. Tunaleta another supply. And we have been surviving on that. And we have realized that we have said, I'm making a joke out of it, but this is very serious. I have to do a video of you making mursik to those people use and charcoal. I will next month when I will be in the village. Aki, huku, I don't have the vifaa huku. I'll do that when I go to the village. So my people, if the things that you're using your money to buy, instead of saving that money, unasema nana anaenda kupigwa na vumbi ya posho meal, so unakuja unaoga. You know? Yes, I know the kavumbi there, but this much unarudi kama huko kama ni kama umejipaka poda. But you come unaoga and you move on with life swiftly. So if there are things that you can do, my point is, You know, nimeingiza maneno mingi, but the point is that I was driving is, my people, if there's something that you can be able to do to save a little, to save 10 shillings, to save 200 shillings, do it. Do it. Don't fear opinion, because times are hard. Times are hard. And if there's something, if I can bring ugali, something from, if I can go to Shagu and I bring something that, like, that we don't grow onions, if we would be growing onions in my home, I would go bring Nananga and my neighbors, those who come from those places, they have many onions. Sorry. Again, who was Siaga number 1 or number 2? Miss Lydia, you're funny. Oh, okay. You know, number 1 is expensive, so it depends, but mostly number 2. But you know okay. But it's good to Siaga number 1, just to be on the same level with everyone. Miss Lydia understands what I'm saying. Miss Lydia, you're good to go. Now, Ellen is saying after campus she worked in a Kisiagi for some time. You na venye Ellen, we didn't have masks back then. You suffered. But look at you now. You have a story. You should write a book about it. These things, we need to be writing books by day to document these things. So to be on the same page, Miss Lydia, maybe we Siaga number 1. Number 1 is, it's finer, but it's not as fine as the sifted maize on the shelf, but it's finer than number 2. So if you want, you can, when you go to the posho mill, unaambia unisiagie number 1. Hey, kumbe watu wengi wanajua hizi tricks. So I'm not alone. Hey, I like this. So my people, what we were driving at, I'm sorry my live went down a little, but we are back. Thank you for being here so far. Ellen, don't remind me of my childhood life. I know it was not easy. I remember we used to walk from where my home to where we used to sift maize. It was far. I think that's where I got this thing. Nikasema sitanunua ya duka. Anyway, before my life went off, I was saying, when you're basking in the sun, people who come from places where they have these onions, the ones which are being sold now like gold, the big ones, the purple ones. What do we call them? These onions. You see someone akiweka kwa jua, they have many like this. Some even last for 6 months. Ama inakaanga for long. I'm not a I speak of the things but I've seen people every weekend when you're walking, you see people wakitandaza hizo onions just to save a little money. So if you can be able to supplement something, you can be able to get something from somewhere, ikupunguzie cost, so that you can be able to save. Don't hesitate. Don't fear bora hujakosea, bora it's legal. Bora if something is legal, go for it. As long as that thing is legal. Kitu mbaya ni kufanya vitu illegal. Do legal things. So that's not even supplementing. I don't know how do we call it. If you can use something else to saidia you to save something. If you can get something from somewhere to assist you to save a few coins, do it. No apologies. No, don't explain yourself. Chukua 20 shillings yako, Siaga. Your family is sorted for a week. Thank you, God. If you can be able to plant mboga in your backyard, do it. Some people are even using these tugunias. If you don't have a space and you have a veranda or a back, what do we call this? Is it a veranda? What do we call? This lady is saying something. if, if you can be able even to plant skuma, spinach, dania. Kenyans were very innovative, by the way. Nunua magunia, put some red soil, I don't know, chukua sakas za what do we call the mbogas kwa gunia. When people are crying that economy is bad, maybe once in a while you can buy the managus and the rest, but you have something backup. If there's a day that you don't have money, you fall back to those tumbogas. Inasaidia. Unapigiwa simu, mama nani, hakuna mboga. Instead of thinking and scratching your head which is already scratched, unaambia mtu enda pale utoanishe hizo ziko hapo, we cook supper. Siku imeenda. These birds are making a lot of noise. Challenges of living in the village. The noises around me are too much. So let's focus, or let's think of ways that we can be able to bring our budgets down. Another place where I noticed we lose a lot of money is if you have hired a help. Yeah. You know, most of these people, maybe they know, but because they don't buy, they don't care. Make sure you call a meeting. That's another point. Call a meeting with your help. That is the amount of wastage that goes on in our homes. Someone is frying food literally, anamwaga mafuta ile gold, mafuta gold, cooking oil, it's gold right now. When you're passing by, you can even hear the voice, the sound of mafuta inamwaga kufry food. But I want my food tasty. Me, if my food is not tasty, chakula yangu lazima ikuwe na mafuta ya kutosha. You will suffer. And the way mafuta is now costing a kidney, we are almost telling our kidneys to buy cooking oil. Somebody is using, what do we call, this washing powder, just a normal one. Mtu badala ya kutumia sparingly, bora nguo zinaosheka. For example, you have sat yourself down, you've done your budget, you've said, I'm going to use this amount of what do you call washing detergent per month. I think I should end this live. Someone just alerted me that sauti imepotea. Sorry. I'm sorry, you lost me a bit. Okay. You were saying have a meeting with the people around your household, especially those people who are assisting you to do some things around your home, especially our house managers. That's a good word to use, especially our house managers. Let's give some briefs once in a while on saving, but they should try to help you to save. You know, the person you stay with can make you or they can break you. The house manager that you have can make you wasted in a economy hustler. I'm telling you, your house manager is an integral part towards your saving journey. You know why? Because most times we are not home. You just buy things and you go. You go to the office, una ile asol tulisema, you hustle here and there. The person now, the house manager, that is their office, they're in charge when you're not home. So my people, have a meeting, like a formal meeting with your help, with the house manager. Tell them economy dada yangu imekuwa ngumu. May usually have those meetings. Economy, even the good thing is take them around when you're shopping. Some people are just in utopia. They don't know what's happening. Once in a while, when you're going to shop, just take them around. Let them know the challenges that are happening around you. Ajue ile mboga nilikuwa or ile sabuni tulikuwa tunanunua 150. You remember the Menengai soap? It's now almost 270 shillings. In Kenya, I don't know other places. It's tough by even the washing powder. So call them to a formal meeting. Let them know my hair is starting to we're almost ending this life. And much. So thank you. Call them to a formal meeting, not just once. Keep reminding them in a polite way. Tell them, dadangu, maisha imekuwa ngumu. Please, let's save the little that we have. They understand. Once in a while again, take them around when you're doing this shopping. Take them around. Tell them, ni nini hatuna, haya, toa, this and that. They will be able to know that, most of them, they have never used their money to buy things in the house. They don't know. They think that just imeisha. You're called mama nani nunua. Nanunua unaleta. Mtu anamwaga. You'll be doing a Kipchoge every other time. Mpaka unajiuliza kwani nitakuwa na Kipchoge kwa duka kila saa. To avoid that, tell them the reality. Tell them, me, I'm not a millionaire by the way. Me, I'm struggling. Na ukiona vitu najaribu kuprovide so that we can be able to run this family. So, let's save. Let's use these things sparingly. Tutumie ile kidogo iko. Ikiisha, hata unawaogopesha. Tell them, if these things finish what we have, tutakaa bila food. Because sina pesa. Hii ndio, mimi nanunuanga vitu this and this times in a month. And if you waste this, utawasha na sijui na nini mpaka month ishe. Someone whose IQ is okay will know. Huyu mama unaambia pesa yangu mimi sina ingine. Hii yenye nimenunua hii inatusukumia mpaka the next month. That's when we are going again to buy and I'll go with you. That brings discipline in the way things are being used, because the wastage that is happening. You've bought a 10-liter mafuta, it will take you for 2 months. 3 weeks later, mama nani imeisha. Nini? mafuta tena. Instead of telling this person, no, we cannot operate like this, because ni wewe unaumia. You will never get to save if you don't seal these loopholes, if you don't seal these leakages within your home. You will be spending and spending and spending and spending again, and people will not stop to tell. If you cannot face the reality and tell someone the reality, people don't care. Every time imeisha, they know wewe ni wa kukimbia na kununua. Hapana, call them to a meeting. Call them to a meeting and sort that bill, and you will realize at the end of the day, I'm telling you the truth. When people when people know the reality and they know that this mama cannot go beyond this, wanaanza kuchunga vitu. Imagine they know how to save. I was shocked. These people know how to save, but I think they take us for a ride. Money nini? Women. Okay. Hey, let me not say women, because it's everyone. Another thing, if you can be able to, instead of using, this is something I've been saying most times, but let me just say it because it might help someone from a personal experience. If you're still using charcoal to boil, well, the last time I bought charcoal, makaa, was when I was told, what do we call this, korogoro or something? Mtu aliniambia korogoro ni 200 shillings. Nikasema, Priska, 200 shillings. And when you use that attain for 200 shillings, even the food that you're boiling cannot haiwezi iva. Have you realized that? Unless you have, is it jikoko? Unless umenunua jikoko. But then, if you can be able to buy this, what do we call pressure cookers? This electric pressure cookers. I like using that example because it has really, although the food is not as tasty, I realized, I'm saying it as it is, it's not as tasty as food cooked with charcoal. But then, mimi sahi test hapana, test tutafanya siku yenye economy ita improve. By the way, but those pressure cookers, they really save you a lot of money. Because charcoal, where I am, I don't know. There are places where you can just remove it from your farm. But if you are in, it's getting cold. I think I should end this live. If you are in a place like Nairobi where it's very expensive, the last time I bought it was 200 shillings. 200 shillings. So if you can buy something which can use less, but it doesn't use a lot of electricity, you can be able to monitor your units when you're using that. You'll realize that you will save a lot of money when you use that pressure cooker. So let's get away from using the charcoal and charcoal makaa. I don't know, those who are not in Kenya, how do you call it? Maybe it's cheaper where you are, but it's costing us an arm and a leg. And saving has been a very big issue because you cannot boil things in gas. To come a meat unless you're frying, but if you're boiling like cereals, githeri, beans, those things that we boil at home, and if you're still using charcoal, you could have been a millionaire by now. You could have been a millionaire by now. So my people, I appreciate each and every one of you for joining me. I don't like cold. Now it's getting cold, and I think I'm going to end this live here. Thank you so much for joining me. I would like to join who is going live next? Me, I want to join someone's live. Me, I want to go inside the house and join someone. Who is having a live next? Among my people, who is having a live? I join right now. Me, the cold, my nose is now starting to block because of the cold. Thank you so much. If anyone is having a live, let me know so that I join. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. God bless you for everything that we've said. Let's put it into account, and you will realize at the end of the day that we are saving. Thanks us, that was so. Oh, thank you so much, Ellen. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you for always supporting me, by the way. Thank you so much, Ellen. So, my people, if you put everything that we've said into account and we become disciplined, we avoid wastage, we free ourselves from this interest rates that we are paying to money lending. Is it institutions or apps? I don't know what to call them. We draw a budget. We have a sitting with our house managers on saving. We live within our means. You know, if we can supplement something, as long as it can be able to serve the same function, let's do this. Let's do it. Let's stop buying brand names. Tulitoka huko. I know I've spoken about many things from the time we started this. It's 2 hours 36 minutes. It has been a pleasure. Nime appreciate your conversations on my chat. Thank you so much. Mungu awabariki. May God help us so that we can be able to have a discerning spirit on the things that we can be able to avoid, so that we can save even 100 shillings. It will go a long way. God bless you. See you on our next live. Bye my people. Acha nene nikunywa kamaji moto. Sawa? God bless you. Bye. If you have a live, wacha tuende to join. God bless you so much. Bye. Video ya kisiagi inakuja tomorrow.